What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is February the 17th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, just had one big one. That was ADP, came in at 10.2. A lot better than the previous, which was 7.7. And even aside from that, today it kind of does break that trend. So it's been going lower and lower the last 3-4 reports. So that was a pretty good thing. In addition to that, New York State Manufacturing Index came in at 7.1. Forecast was 3. So that definitely shows that there's a good amount of expansion occurring. Hot topic for today is just geopolitical issues with Iran. So that's kind of some stuff that went up and down a lot throughout the whole weekend, and that's pretty much the only thing that's kind of affecting the broader market in my opinion. But because of the data that just came out, you can kind of see the market's kind of moving a little bit higher. But Dow is currently down 0.18, S&P down 0.42, NASDAQ down 0.84. In reality though, we are also seeing some fairly low volume. So every time I've seen that type of scenario play out, once the market does open, that is where a lot of the big players want to truly move the market. So again, don't be surprised once the market does open, we see some pretty interesting moves. Fear and greed index is under the fear category, so in theory, people's appetite for risk isn't really on the table. Some of the other ones I'll bring up later in the video kind of do contradict this. But aside from that, SoFi is down 0.97%. Nothing too crazy, no news, no SEC filings or anything along those lines. Shorts are currently returning about 47,000 shares, 8.6% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 108 million shares overall being shorted. So there's definitely a lot of available shares to short, more than 10 million. So if shorts really wanted to, they could easily double down, triple down. But the fact that they do return is fairly optimistic if you ask me. So maybe it kind of does signal today's red day so far for SoFi is unjustified. A couple points to watch for though, with it at 1940. It's trading between this pivot and this S1. So 1904, 1971, that's going to be the next strong support and target. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart on a side note. So this is more oriented towards kind of day traders. So just again, keep that in mind. Aside from that, to moving on, NIO, nothing really crazy news over the weekend. Of course, I'll kind of dive deep into a lot of the things that's floating around this upcoming or in my upcoming video later today. But NIO is just reacting to the broader market, so down 0.61%. Shorts, on the other hand, are increasing about 93,000 shares, 7.04% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 143 million shares overall being shorted. Right now, with that 493, it's trading between this R1 and the pivot, so 485, that's going to be that key point to really watch for. We also do have that $5 psychological kind of pivot point as well, largely linked to options, but normally that does affect NIO in the second half of the week, so I don't really see that being that big of a deal. And then 520 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. ZIM is up 35% today because of this, so crazy news, big deal. I think in reality that was the writing on the wall, and I've been loading the boat on ZIM for a while, even on my Patreon. So on my Patreon, I put out buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Initially at $12, I did say that this was going to go to 19, and then I did kind of revise it to 25. And lo and behold, that's exactly how it did play out. So on my Patreon, this is kind of some of the buy signals and how it's formatted. If you're curious, pop over there. But the writing was on the wall that this was going to get acquired, because they even wanted to take it private at around $13. So if they're doing that, they know that this was insanely discounted. So in reality, this is pretty good overall. With it right now at $30 and change, it's kind of at this 4.2 already. So I don't think there's much more room on the bone ultimately to kind of make. But right now, interestingly enough, shorts are increasing 119,000 shares, and in my opinion, the reason why they're doing that is they feel like maybe that deal might fall through, possibly. But 13.5% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 15.4 million shares overall are being shorted. It is currently above all the real fib levels, so It's most likely not going to trade based on any of this anyways. It's just going to be more calculated to this 4.2. So nonetheless, definitely good stuff. So for those of you that have been loading the boat on this, similar to myself, congrats. But again, the writing was kind of on the wall. Moving on, ticker OBAI. So this stock just recently IPO'd, and over the last 5 days down 82%. So not doing that great. Ultimately, it is up 123% this morning. There was 2 SEC filings that was submitted, so both 8Ks. One just showed that their name change is approved to Our Brand Inc. So interesting kind of stuff. So that is going to cause a new CUSIP number and so forth. In addition to that, looks like there was a note that was done as well. So market seems to be very hyped up over that. I don't really see this being a big deal. Possibly it just might be bringing more awareness to what's been happening over the last several trading days, but this might be a pretty good opportunity to swing trade or day trade, so just keep that in mind. But right now, with it only starting to trade a couple days ago, there's no information for shorts, and same goes for fibs. So again, just kind of watch for a lot of the whole numbers. This one seems to be a pretty good one to day trade today, so again, just heed warning a little bit. So things could go down because like I said, I don't really see that big of a deal why it would be up so much, but again, what do I know? Aside from that, ticker RIME is up 27%, largely because of the pre-existing momentum of it going up 222% on Friday. But there was also this amended 13G, which did signal this Lee Capital reduce their position to 142,000. Normally that's not the greatest, but I don't really know too much about this company. Maybe people are excited that that entity kind of sold out, possibly. But nonetheless, this one will be a pretty good day trade overall as well. Shorts are increasing 110,000 shares, 28.09% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 1.5 million shares. So shorts do make up for roughly around 40% of the daily volume with this stock. So yeah, they are going to be a pretty big deal and possibly try to throw a couple wrenches at it. So again, don't be surprised if you see a lot of volatility, but they don't really have that much available shares. On a side note, there's only now 400. That is it. So again, this one might be interesting to kind of watch. Given the recent price action of Friday, going up 200+%, it is already above all the key fib levels. So just watch for a lot of the whole numbers. So right now with it at 476, it is just kind of watch for the $5 range and so forth and so forth. So let me know your thoughts on this. Are you buying? Are you selling? Like, what other kind of stocks are you watching? One final thing, as I mentioned, if you're looking for some solid buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.